What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. This is a podcast, and I have Nathan Mills and Sandy Cater with me.
I
Liam should be popping in at some point. He's eating chicken again, so yeah, this is becoming a habit now, isn't it? We're going to talk about a few things today. We want to talk about the stock situation in Europe and also the tournament scene as well. This was sort of touched on by Sandy and Renee in Android's podcast, so if you might want to check that out, it was a good podcast. But I think we're gonna go maybe into a little bit of detail, and also we have some theories about why Set 6 was delayed. But we will get into that.
those.
Yeah, we'll go into that.
Oh, fun.
First up, London Players Guild had their 5-star tournament, and Sandy and Nathan, you were both there. And well, I mean, Nathan, we had your deck profile before, so let's start off with Sandy. How did you find this tournament?
I found it was cool. I think this is the first tournament. I mean, that was my first London Players Guild tournament. I was hoping for a higher turnout, but it was what it was. I was happy with my deck, and I was happy with how I did. So I was more or less focused on that until Nathan bodied me in top 8.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hope you forgive me.
What did you actually end up playing?
I played Broly World Martial Arts Tournament Victory Strike.
Oh, nice. And what did you play against? If you remember.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I played World Martial Arts Tournament Victory Strike Broly. I sided into Storm, so a lot of the matchups, I understood. Nathan's matchup I didn't really understand. I should have sided differently, but I would, if it was a slow matchup, I was just going to draw my entire deck until I found Victory Strike, and then I was going to kill you on turn 4. Or you watch my stream with Nathan Hills, I would side into Storm, and then I'd kill you on turn 2. So it was one of the two. It was a really cool deck. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely out of my playstyle because I've been on Janemba for the past 2 months. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed playing that deck.
Yeah. It was. I don't think. Were there any sort of quote unquote bad decks there? Because from what Nathan Hills told me when I did his deck profile, he pretty much played meta all day, apart from the Pronga Ginyu, obviously.
No, it was all meta. I'm at least from what I had seen, it was pretty much all meta. There was one Bardock Masse in there, which was Rogue, as well as Nathan's Pronga Ginyu Force. But outside of that, it was actually it was like a lot of really competitive decks. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was Max that was playing that deck though. So the pilot of the deck's pretty good.
Max Fox from London.
Yeah, Fox. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, even though the leader's probably a little bit subpar, Max is a good player.
Yeah, and so Pronga Ginyu was the only rogue deck that did well, I guess.
I mean, are we calling it rogue still? Isn't it meta now? Is it not meta?
It's definitely rogue. Definitely rogue.
It's definitely rogue. There's no way that's meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, although it wasn't a large, it was 28 players. It was very competitive.
Yeah,
extremely.
Even though it's 28 players, I guess some people would consider that I mean, at least for us in the UK, it's not a big of a deal. But people in the US, it's only 28 players. It can't be that competitive. But
it's still quite big, actually. 28 for the UK.
Everyone was playing seriously, so it was definitely a competitive environment. So that was good.
Yeah, I mean, 28 isn't massive, but it's still considered quite large for the UK, I guess, because it's above local level. You could say.
Yeah. For the UK, it was quite a large tournament, but the weather on the day was quite bad. So I think that might have put quite a lot of people off, because I was speaking to Peter, and he said that he had a lot more pre-registrations than that actually turned up as well.
Oh, okay. So they just forfeited their entry.
I presume so, because I mean, to be fair, I was pretty close to not going myself because of the weather. It was atrocious in the northwest on the day. Sandy can speak for it as well. Went outside to Greg's for about 5 minutes and I came back.
Did you get that vegan sausage roll from Greg's?
Yeah, I got it. It was nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. But yeah, I mean, when you looked around the room and you looked at the players that were actually there, I think most of them, if not all of them, were all really good players that I've seen around before. I knew probably 50-60% of the players there by name, and that's probably because they're good players that have been around events in the Northwest.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So I think one of the things we want to touch on is that prize support isn't great. So for locals, I mean, we still have store. I have a local store which is still offering Tournament Pack 2 because they haven't got anything new.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And obviously that's not good for locals, and Bandai haven't given us any support apart from Euros, which was great, by the way. And I know, Sandy, in Android's podcast, you were comparing Euros to sort of what they got in Nationals in terms of prize support. Yeah. I mean, personally, I feel like Euros is a regional class tournament for them. And even though it was massive, it was, I guess it's, I think Core TCG get about 250 or 240 at their regionals, don't they?
Yeah.
But still, I think the pricing compared to their regionals, it's still lacking, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even the pricing compared to a free event like Celebrations was lacking.
Yeah. And obviously,
I think.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think. Yeah. I mean, like if you came first place in teams, like one thing that I guess we'll touch into, which is part of my theory as to why the set was delayed. I mean, first place in teams, they got 33 boxes of set 6, and they got all this extra stuff. And then in side events, like I won about 100 packs just in side events on day 3, and at Euros I came third and I only got like 60 packs. So it is a huge difference. I remember just sitting there and watching this dude open like 200 to 300 packs just because he had been playing in side events all day.
Wow. And our side events were just booster pack events. No, it was power booster events, right?
It was the power booster side event.
Yeah. So that's all we had. Yeah, no, that's just crazy, and I think for us at this point we get quite excited about every little scrap that they give us because we don't get anything. So, for example, the celebration events, I was quite excited about them when I saw them because I didn't compare them to the ones in the States, but when Renee made his post and sort of compared them, I realised that it's just not it's not anywhere near close to what we should be getting.
Yeah, and then they decided to do the celebrations events on the local level as well, which is just like, you could have at least given us one proper celebrations event, but doing it on the local level is just sort of, the pricing's not going to compare. And I mean, even they should have given even more. I think the pricing they're giving isn't good. 4 Broly packs for Volume 3 is good for, I think, everybody, because they get a playset, and they don't, for anyone that shows up, they don't really have to spend the money to get these cards. But still, it's just not where it should be.
Yeah, Nathan, were you going to say something?
Yeah.
Am I cutting out?
I think the pricing. Am I cutting out?
A little bit. Yeah, you're okay at the moment.
Okay. The pricing, in my opinion, is atrocious. It's abysmal. There's a lot of love for the game, and the lack of pricing from Bandai, it drives players away. because they look at other card games they could be playing where the investment point's a similar price point, but their return is so much more.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of players that are drifting towards Pokemon, and they're drifting towards Pokemon because the price point of the deck is very similar. It's roughly £100–150 for a tier 1 deck. But then when you're playing a tournament, 5, 6, 7 times more than what you would at a Dragon Ball event. And for the players that are watching the wallets and they're concerned about price support, I can see why they're doing that. I play this game because I love this game. I'm not playing this game because I want money. If I wanted money, I'd be doing something else with my spare time.
Yeah.
It's a nice perk on top of it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think part of the issue is that at Bandai think we have a small market.
Oh yeah.
Because they look at the sales.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have Liam here for this bit, because I know he's quite opinionated on it.
Yes, he is.
But I do agree with him when he says that we need to stop importing, and we need to make sure that we're making Bandai aware that there is a market for the game here. But at the same time, you can't expect the player base not to import when it's half the price to import from America. You get it faster because some of the people that are selling the product in the UK, the customer service is really bad.
Yep.
On top of that, they also put delays in, which stops us from getting it for 3 to 4 weeks, a month and a half, whatever it's going to be. Because I personally, I've imported because I know what I've imported, it's going to be a fraction of the price, and I got it from the other side of the world in 2 days. Whereas if I ordered from Bournemouth, for example, it could have taken a week for it to get here.
Yeah, so we don't even have set 6 at the moment for all the American viewers. This I've just put up the announcement, the delay announcement. It has been even the starter decks pushed back until April because of bad weather. And I don't buy the bad weather thing, really.
No, me
Oh,
either.
no way.
Sandy, you have a theory on this, right?
Yeah, I do. I like Liam's theory as well. I hope he gets in so we can talk about it. But
Yeah.
my theory is they've pushed so much product into the US via these celebrations events and via pre-release events that they just didn't have the product for us. And this sort of struck a chord because someone on Android's Discord chat mentioned something. I'll talk about it in a second. But if you look,
Sandy, I think you've got off there.
now almost 100. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep. So if you look at
Oh, if you look at the boxes they're giving away for celebrations, there's 5 celebrations in total. They're giving away almost 100 boxes per celebration, so it's like I think it comes out to like 470 boxes or something. They're just giving away as prize support.
that's crazy.
And then you have all these pre-release events happening across the country. And in the pre-release events, you're allowed to buy a box, so they get cases as well. I've never seen products sell so fast. I was in Orlando. I think they had 2 or I want to say 2 cases. They might have had 3. I think it was 2, but that sold out in like 10 to 15 minutes. And everyone that showed up to the pre-release event, they weren't there to play in the pre-release event. We didn't have the pre-release event because
Cut off again, Sandy.
and they didn't print enough.
Sorry,
So-
you didn't have the pre-release event because presumably everyone was just buying it and they sold out, right?
Yeah, no. We didn't have it because people didn't want to play the event. They just wanted the product. They showed up because they knew they could buy a box. So even if we had the pre-release event, people would have just sat down and been like, "Okay, you win, I win, you win, I win, whatever." Because no one got any prizes. They just wanted to buy the box. So I don't think Bandai was really prepared for the demand. and even in the US, the stock is low, so
Yeah.
you can some
I mean, yeah, I see them complaining in the US about
clicked with.
not having enough stock and having complaints about a restock. So
Yeah, what Sandy just said about people not even wanting to play in the event, that's really frustrating for me because I'm a big advocate for sealed play as well, and I feel like Dragon Ball is kind of made for sealed play, and if people aren't taking the opportunity to play sealed play, that's really frustrating for me.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people cared for it. They just wanted the product. So yeah, I just think what they've done is they didn't print enough. They weren't prepared for the demand, and then now they're doing a reprint run, and so I think the US gets their restock when we get our release date. So I think they just didn't have enough for us, so they had to push the date back.
so basically, they're prioritizing the US over us again. And they're gonna get their seconds before we get our firsts.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
That's at least my theory. I mean, it's obviously I can't confirm it. Like, there's no way I can confirm
Yeah.
it. But it's
the
just from what I
dates
heard
the
through
dates line
grapevine,
up
piecing
though.
things together, and from what I saw in Orlando, and things like that. So
Yeah, I think Liam is with us now. See, his mic is muted. But yeah, I mean, hi Liam.
Hello.
Nice of you to join us. How was your chicken?
It is still tasty.
So
Enough is enough.
you may have heard we're talking about the Set 6 delay and the stock issues. You have a theory about this, don't you?
Yeah, there was a mild wind. I don't. I mean, have you never tried walking down the street with like 15 pallets of Dragon Ball cards? It's a hard task, man. If that breeze like is too hard, then you might not get delayed from going down the street by at least 14 days minimum. You know, I don't get it. Like, I can understand it. What?
Sorry, did you say that you believe that the stock's in the UK?
I believe, and this isn't based on like secret people or anything, but I personally think that the stock, because the Asmodee in the UK are like, they're the distributors for Europe, so the stock comes to the UK and then it further gets shipped to other countries. So I imagine it's been in the UK for a while, but because it's a Europe release, they can't release it to us before it's been confirmed to reach the depots for the other countries. Otherwise, it's not fair on like anyone else. So if like Holland didn't get theirs for another 4 days, but we just started cracking ours and started playing it, that isn't really a Europe release. That's some form of staggered, like, not good.
Yeah.
So in your theory, it's good that we're having Brexit because we won't have this problem going forwards.
I will decline to answer.
I'm just looking for positives on Brexit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I never really wanted to watch The Walking Dead, but the closer it gets to the 29th of March, or whatever it is, the closer I'm thinking, do I actually start watching it? I think I should.
Just watch the first season or two.
But I don't think the whole OWL stuff. Did someone say that they think the stock's gone to another country?
Yeah. Sandy was saying that that the US are getting the restock, which is why we're getting ours pushed back, and the dates kind of line up.
I don't think our stuff is going to the US to restock them. I think that they needed to put all the product in the US and then are going to restock them at the same time they release with us. They're doing. I think they're just.
Right. Okay.
Oh, just doing a reset button sort of thing and just starting again.
Except they've had all their pre-releases.
That's fine. I mean,
That's not fine.
well,
It's
you
not
know,
fine because like all the stores announced all their pre-release tournaments, and everything's been pushed back now.
Oh yeah, screw it.
And then
screwed
they
my
bring-
store massively.
They're bringing up
Yeah, screwed my
they're bringing
stores,
out-
like, the owner's not happy.
expansion packs in May as well. So we're gonna have a
Yeah.
month of this product before the expansions come out.
No, we'll have them by Christmas, mate. Don't worry.
That's another problem with what they're doing at the minute. They're releasing too much, where we're not getting a chance to play with the set. I
Yeah.
know, like, for me, I'm a magpie, so I want everything that's shiny, and it's costing me way too much to 4 SPRs of every SPR from every set. They need to slow it down a bit because I'm going to be on the streets with my SPRs soon.
Just hugging your binder.
but that's because you're going after the SPRs. Like, I'm a playset collector, except for SPRs. I am chasing after the SPRs like you are. I've started doing that now, and I'm spending too much money. But like, even
Exactly.
as just like a normal, even as like a normal playset collector, when they spam sets out like that, it is difficult. But I'm not overly bothered by it. I think some people at my shop were a bit fatigued between like Miraculous and Clash of Fates because it was like, oh, Miraculous is out. Clash of Fate comes out in like a month and a half, whatever it was, and then
Yeah.
we started getting set 6 like info on top of that. So like, what is
Yeah. So
I know-
I think
I know-
being set 6?
it's also exacerbated in the UK and Europe. For example, because we had World Martial Arts Tournament and Set 5 released at the same time. So
That was bad.
they're having a lot of product releases, but we're also getting delays in them, which kind of push the product releases closer together. Because if they mess up if they delay one set, but the next set is released on time, then we're gonna get weeks to play in between them.
I mean, it's quite
The-
easy to find out. Like, in the past, when I've pushed the people I speak to at Bandai, they actually shown me the docket of when the shipment left Japan. So you can kind of figure out if they lied or not from that in terms of like if there was a screw up. Because if you know that if you go on Google, I did it back then, you can check the average shipping time of a container from Japan to the UK. And then you can go, oh, there was 1 second, let me just get my little fingers out. Mild wind. And then you can check to see if that realistically would stop 2 weeks because of like how shipping containers works and whatnot. You don't know if there was like some storm in the ocean, so the actual shipment itself, the whole of the cargo vessel, might have just docked at a country until it all blew over and then set off again. And maybe
Yeah.
it happened 14 times. Who knows? Maybe every day they decided to leave, there was like, wait, it's spotting. Dave, go outside. Is it raining? We'll stay here for a bit.
I think the real reason is that Nathan's been bothering them too much with all these "What about Europe" posts.
No.
And
No, it's the opposite. I hadn't annoyed them in a while about it, so therefore they wanted to get me to restart because they missed me so much.
oh, okay. So
Maybe
it
they're
wasn't
fucking-
it wasn't to spite you.
It's because
We're gonna delay the release for the whole of Europe because of this guy.
Yeah, one
Well,
guy.
to be fair, they did make an entire European event because of me, so you know.
That's true.
Which we didn't get any information about until the week of the event.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I didn't push them enough.
So, speaking of events, going back to events, I think one of the problems that the game has in the UK, especially, is that there isn't really a big tournament organizer outside. I guess LPG would be the largest that we have in the UK. But no,
Consistency wise.
Yeah, I mean, no one seems to be. There doesn't seem to be a big tournament organizer
I've
who
spoken to
is
them
willing to
about it.
take it. And for Euros, we thought, oh, we were kind of thinking, oh, who might it be? And it turned out to be Tournament Centre, who are based in mainland Europe and not the UK. And Liam, sorry, you talked to them about this?
Hmm?
Did you say you talked to
You
them
cut
about
out,
this?
sorry.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
spoke to Bandai not long ago because there's a Dragon Con thing happening in the UK this year that is a bit like
Yeah.
Kamehameha Con or something like that.
Comic-Con, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and they're doing one in the UK I think it's in August.
Yeah.
And I've been speaking to the guy about doing a 2-day event in the UK. So it's a Saturday and a Sunday. So then I start speaking to Bandai, and Bandai literally have zero interest because they said that they've got the tournament kits for tournament play. I don't know if it's the language barrier or what, but even me saying anything to them, they literally just respond with, "Oh, we thank you for your email," and no.
So basically, I mean it's funny, but also it's quite disheartening to hear that actually, because it seems like Bandai seems to be content with the amount of support they're giving us. Then,
yeah, I mean the last email I sent was I don't really know how to approach it, but the last email I sent, I was like, it's Cardass the people that I speak to if I want to set up a large-scale tournament. Because every time I email them, I'm going to be honest, it's like you're speaking to a robot. Do you know, have you ever played like an MMO and you send a GM a message and they're like, "We will deal with your issues soon." But you have no idea what's going on. So when I emailed them, the last email I said to them was literally like, is there anyone else I can speak to regarding this issue? Because I don't actually know if this is the right department for this. And they replied with, I'm 90% sure it was, "We thank you for your email, but this is not possible." And I was like, okay, is there anything that is possible? And they haven't replied to that.
Realistically, what can we do as a player base to convince them to run consistent large-scale events in Europe?
I think for them primarily it's about sales. So
Yeah.
I think that's what they're looking at, and the importing doesn't help, but I think it's totally
the what?
understandable. Importing.
What's that?
It's so I think it's totally understandable for the players to do that because it's just a lot cheaper. And I know, Liam, your store is very good with it because your store gives good prices for people who pre-order. But I know a lot of stores don't do that, and it's
Fine, I know a guy who sells boxes at peanuts. It's fine.
yeah.
We'll all be okay. Who needs a storm? The thing is, though, and this is what really annoys me, if I was to order boxes from anyone, like let's say I ordered it from America, I know they'll be here by next week.
Yeah.
Like, why the 2-week delay? I understand it's a pallet, or pallets. But if I was to order, like, whatever a pallet is from the people who deal with it in America, like, yeah, it's going to cost to import, but it would be here faster than that.
It would be cheaper than buying it here as well.
Yeah, I ordered my my SPRs from Singapore last Thursday. They arrived by Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Like,
Dav
true story.
ordered some stuff from Singapore as well on Monday, and they arrived on Wednesday.
I ordered some stuff from Singapore on Monday, and they arrived on Wednesday.
Shall we stop saying Singapore and give a shout out to Lewis Out, who does the best service I've ever experienced ever?
Oh, Lewis is sick.
Is the best guy ever. His prices are on point, his customer service is on point, and he gets from Singapore to the UK faster than UK to the UK.
Legit.
That is fair. Although, guys, importing is not helping the game in Europe. But no, I think it is Bandai's fault. I mean, if they gave us product the same time as they get it in the States, then I don't think it would be an issue. Even if it would be cheaper in the States, people will buy the product here.
If stuff came out at the correct time, then it wouldn't really be an issue, I don't think. The problem is like, I don't think there's any swear words in what I'm about to say, but the human race are scumbags. Like, we can't help ourselves. It's in our nature. Like, we just crave instant gratification. Like, we can't get the stock for another 2 weeks. So, God, waiting 2 more weeks. I need that in 3 days. And people will do it, even though they can't physically use the stock for another 2 weeks. People need that now. They need their fix now. They can't wait.
Like, I'm accepting what you're saying, Liam. Like, I'm 100% saying, like, if that's completely fine. But when Lewis is sending a full playset of every common, uncommon, and rare for $85, and if I was to get that in the UK, it'd probably cost close to £200.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. Sandy, when you were over in the States, did you meet any and speak to any Canadian players? Do you know if they have similar issues in terms of stock?
I got to speak to Danny Hype for a moment because Jamie Wolf, I don't know if you guys know him, he's one of the good Bristol players. He needed me to get some cards signed by Danny Hype and
Okay.
Peter Catoni, so I talked to him for a minute, but I didn't get a chance to go into like how things are going over in Canada. No.
Right. Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's too much that we can do now. I know off the back of Android's podcast, I think someone messaged Bandai, right? So hopefully they do get the message. But for now, we're just gonna have to do what we can as a player base to get some events going. And I know Sandy, you're doing a tournament at your locals where you're giving away quite a few of your packs, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I brought it up in my For Queen and Country little
Yeah.
podcast little thing, didn't I?
Yes.
And I'll bring it up again. I'll bring it up as much as I want because I want to max out the store. But I'm giving away like 100 participation, like 100 promo, almost 100 promo packs and participation prizes. I'm giving away deck separators to the top 50%. I'm giving away playmats and Broly pack 3s to the top 3. And if we max it out, I'm going to continue to, I'm going to continue doing these giveaway prizes because it seems each like.
Sandy, you've cut off.
R.I.P. Sandy.
London or what's up?
No,
Yeah.
completely cut out, man.
Did I cut out?
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm not gonna swear. Sorry, I just have terrible Wi-Fi. Where did I cut out at?
It seems like.
Oh, before that, I have a terrible memory.
So you're giving away your deck. You've gone through your prize support. But yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, it seems like interest for my tourneys are growing. Like I can see that people are interested in the event, and they're like from London, and I know you're interested in coming. I know London Players Guild is interested in coming. So if I can max out these tourneys, I will continue to put like my time and my money into getting these packed and holding bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Wait, Sandy, where is your locals?
It's in Whitney in Oxfordshire. Like 5 months ago, I was the only one pushing the game. Then we had 8-person locals, and then my Euros giveaway tourney was 16 people, and now this giveaway tourney could very well be 24 people. We've had to. We're doing pre-registration and everything, and well, I'll look into rent.
Yeah. I think definitely it's not ideal, but I think people around the country kind of need to do their own larger events, and hopefully Bandai takes notice. And I think that's a good segue onto Liam. you guys did a Team Wars event, didn't you?
Oh, we did. We did. That was majoritively actually not run by me. It was run by Harry.
Okay, yeah.
Because personally, not being defeatist, but I thought it would all go to pot. Just majoritively because trying to get teams of 3 people into the same place without any arguments, knowing that the decks can't be similar.
Yeah.
Is quite crazy. So, I mean, luckily it went okay. We had 6 teams, which was 18 people that actually turned up. It was only £1 to enter, and there was like no prizes per se. But Harry actually did something really cool where he spent his own money, because wasn't no one was turning up for prizes. They was turning up for the experience, which I must say,
Hello?
think.
Hi, Sandy.
Sorry, I've got terrible internet.
It's okay. But I think people need to. I understand prizes are important and that people need to feel like they're going to like break even in whatever they do. And there's always this dream of going infinite in a lot of card games, especially online ones. But the point of this team event that we did was more so as a group, because we want to run a larger scale teams event.
Yeah,
that's one of the things I want to do. So we did like a tester thing just to see like how exactly it works. I've done Unified Standard in Magic, which I won't go into, but it's basically the same thing. And yeah, we had 6 teams turn up. Harry gave away some Dragon Ball shot glasses.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And he also ordered in a plate 7 Dragon Balls, which are like glass Dragon Balls, and then the team that came first got to pick 1 each. The team that came second got to pick 1 each, and then Harry got to keep the remaining Dragon Ball for himself.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is good, because no one asked him to do it, and he did it completely out of his own thing, so everyone was like, even the people who didn't get anything was like, oh, this is cool. Everyone still got a PCSD promo for turning up, but there was like a large contingency of people who didn't enter purely for the fact that there was nothing to win. Like they had no interest in entering for the experience, which is also one of the issues you've got with Sealed. So when you've got the pre-release that is coming up, a lot of the incentive realistically is it's just the promo, right? And the fact you're getting packs early. There's
early.
Which again, there's people in my locals who don't want to enter it because they're paying an amount for like winning nothing.
I think my problem with the team event, it just wouldn't appeal to me, because if I do, I blame that on myself. If I did badly at an event because one of my friends played badly, I'd be angry, and that's me, because I'm a competitive person.
Well, Mills,
I think you would
I'll
like
let you play
teams,
Shigesh.
though. I was gonna say, I think you'd like teams. You get to play 4 Shigesh, and you have a 33% chance of being Cronulla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
what?
You can have the Shigesh deck.
No, it's like that. You're making it sound better for me by saying that, but I wouldn't want to ruin a friendship because
Well, no, it wouldn't ruin a friendship. Like when
I mean that's just you being overly competitive. I mean,
Yeah,
I went to
yeah.
teams events in Orlando, and that was a lot of fun.
Get a good team.
I admit I'm overly competitive. I'll put my hands up to that. So that's exactly why I wouldn't want to play in a team event.
Yeah, but if you played in a team event and you had like, if it was you, me, and I don't know, Blobby from Noel's Funhouse, then we would have a fantastic chance of winning.
You would get DQ'd because you would have Blobby on your team.
Yeah, no, but he's probably the one playing Shigesh, so it's fine.
No, I'd be the one playing Shigesh.
That's what I meant. You're a Blobby, right?
Oh, okay.
And no, I'm joking.
But Nathan, your thing about like the competitive thing. I don't know if Liam, you did it how you guys did your tournament, but when someone finished their match, they would come in and they would sit between the two players so that we could all congregate between our plays. So you could still, even though they're playing badly or playing poorly,
we
like
100% allowed coaching in ours. You're allowed to. You're not allowed to get out of the seat. That's the only thing.
But surely, ultimately, it's still that player's choice, isn't it? So I could say to a player, do X, Y, or Z, and they turn around and do something completely different. It's still ultimately their decision, right?
No. Yeah.
You've chosen a bad teammate.
Yeah, but
you say that.
Theoretically.
You say that, but like Devin Butterworth, one of my teammates, he saw a line of play I did, and he talked it out to me, and I was like, oh wow, that's the right play, and then we went with that, and then I won the game. So it's a team effort. There is a team dynamic in teams, and it's a lot of fun to do. So,
I mean, I'd probably play in it if there wasn't a singles event at the same time. But if you give me the choice between a team event and a singles event, I'd pick the singles event every time.
Yeah. So basically, the dream scenario that I built in my head was when that comic Dragon Ball convention happens in like August, and it's a 2-day event thing. I wanted to do them a bit like how they did at the celebrations. I wanted to do a singles event on one day and then a team event on the other day. Just because no one like really does team events, and I think people would rather stick around for both days and just do something. But the issue I've now got is I spoke to Bandai, and then like they didn't care. They literally was just like, Nah, it's fine, mate. And I was like, oh, we just want to like do something instead of just doing the same 16-man tournaments. Like, I enjoy traveling around. I wanted to go to the London Players Guild one, but at the time I was applying for a job, and I didn't know if I'd be transferring over to nights, so I couldn't really commit to like doing anything.
Yeah. I'd love to travel to the US like Sandy has, but because of my job commitments wouldn't allow me to do that whatsoever. So that's annoying.
That trip was really annoying because I was like, some of my team was going there. I wanted to go there, and then I asked work. I was like, I need 6 days off, and they're like, oh no, we can only give you 5. So I fly out Thursday. I play Friday, I play Saturday, I play Sunday, and then I fly back Monday.
Yeah.
And that knackered me. I was so tired. But
yeah,
the week before I was supposed to take my holiday after everything was booked, they're like, "Oh, you can take 2 weeks. We need you to take these 2 weeks." I was like, "What? What?"
Yeah, I
would have stayed for Charlotte celebrations. Like what?
You would have made twice the amount of money.
Exactly. And I'd be able to play set 6 Geneva in teams. Oh boy.
Gee golly. Oh, but in terms of, quickly, Nathan, you were talking about how you wouldn't enjoy the team's experience. See, when we set our team up, this is something that was quite annoying to me. Right, there's a deck that I harp on about, which no one knows about because it's actually
the Frieza deck.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Frieza lineage.
It's my Frieza lineage deck.
The one that no one's ever seen.
The one that no one's ever heard of ever. I was talk about every 2 minutes.
I was gonna play it at the team event, and I was like, "This is the time, lads." And then one of my teammates was like, "Oh no, but I want to use Dragon Balls," and I was like, "Oh,
use Dragon Balls."
And I was like, "Don't do that, Wash." Oh, you can do
Did
that.
I just ruin the idea? You could have just used Dragon Balls and Barunga Balls.
Oh. Right, regardless. Oh, no, so
I love the fact it ruined your evening.
Yeah, so in the end, I ended up playing my baby deck that I played for months. And I updated it with the 5-drop promo baby, and in a game, it was turn 2, and I had the whole setup in hand to go to 6-drop baby. And I was like, I've never actually done this before. I'm not 100% sure on the procedure is. Do you just play it and smash them in the face? Or do you pass the turn? So I was speaking to both my teammates about it, and then was like, okay, we'll just smash them. And then they went down to 3 life because they was playing. I think they was playing Broly, and of course they'd taken their own life as well. And then it went to their turn, and they spent all of their resources on trying to kill the baby, and then it was almost as though they lost 3 life and didn't achieve anything, sort of thing. And they ended up winning the game on the following turn because they literally like used their whole hand, which was like 15 cards or something stupid, just to kill the actual card. But I wasn't going to go for that line of play because I was like, I'd rather just pass the turn and then slowly gain that advantage with it.
Mm.
Apparently that's not what you do, but it's what my friends told me.
Well, anyway, it sounded like a great event, and I mean, are you guys planning to do a larger scale one, yeah?
Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan a bit. It's the actual price support that's going to be an issue more than anything.
Okay.
Like wanting to make people turn up.
Yeah, sure. But did you have sort of time frame of when approximately you want to do it?
No, not all, unfortunately. It's something we're slowly figuring out. At one point, we was going to like add playmats to it, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought like people don't really realistically care about playmats, and it's an added...
no playmats.
Yeah, that's
No
what I mean.
playmat.
It's an added cost to the event for something that realistically it's cool in essence, but no one actually wants them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, yeah,
No.
fair enough. Well, all right. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. With this has started to descend now. So, but yeah, do you guys have anything to add? I mean, I think just to wrap it up, I think generally Bandai does need to give us more support, but it doesn't seem like they're too willing to do that at the moment, and we're just gonna have to make do with what we have, really. And maybe organise our own tournaments, and hopefully they will one day notice us.
My last comment on that, realistically, is look at France. France have got an actual celebrations event.
Yeah,
Like, we don't have that.
they have good
Now,
sales there.
France had a Nats no one knew about. I didn't know about until like the day before Euros because we were curious. We were talking about like languages of the cards and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, France had a Nats." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, they did.
okay."
France
yeah.
had a nationals, France had a celebrations. Now, the actual question is, why? What do they have that we don't? The actual real answer is they've got French cards, so they can't actually import.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to use imported stock, so their sales are 100%, probably 200% better than ours because they literally can't. They can't go to Singapore and speak to Lewis. They can't. There's nothing they can do apart from actually get their own stock. So their stock is that good that they do actually get US scale events on just France alone.
Yeah. So
Importing is
again-
probably the main thing.
yeah. So again, importing, but yeah, I think we just need to get set releases,
I'll stop.
which are on
I'll
time
stop
at least.
importing when Lewis Howe stopped giving such good service.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys. We're actually going to wrap it up here now. Otherwise it will be too long, and I think we need to hop off now anyway. So thank you everyone for watching. If you are still with us, hashtag Miley is the best, like last time. I can't think of a new one. So there we
Lewis
go.
Howe is
Please leave a like and share, comment, subscribe, you know, all the YouTube stuff. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.